Hi, everyone, and welcome back to English in Ease. I'm Emily, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. If you've ever found yourself stuck in your own head while trying to speak English, pausing, second guessing every word, or silently panicking because you're afraid of making a mistake, this episode is for you. Let me start with a question. Have you ever had a moment where you knew what you wanted to say in English, but somehow the words just wouldn't come out? You freeze. You overthink. And by the time you're ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I've met so many learners who feel the same way. They want to speak. They're motivated. But they're held back. Not by a lack of vocabulary or grammar, but by fear and overthinking. That's why today we're diving into a powerful truth. To become fluent, you need to stop overthinking and start speaking. Not perfectly, not fearfully, just naturally. So stay with me. I'm going to share personal stories, real examples, and practical strategies to help you stop hesitating and start expressing yourself in English. Whether you're a beginner or advanced learner, this will help you train your brain to speak more freely without constantly translating or worrying about being perfect. Let's begin by unpacking the problem. Why do so many English learners overthink before speaking? For a long time, I thought the answer was simple. Lack of vocabulary, maybe. But the more I talked with students, the more I realized it wasn't about the words they didn't know. It was about the pressure they put on themselves to use the right words perfectly. One of the biggest reasons learners hesitate is fear. Fear of being wrong. Fear of sounding silly. Fear of being misunderstood. That fear leads to silence, and silence creates a habit of holding back. But let me remind you of something important. Even native speakers make mistakes. We forget words, we mix up grammar, we change sentences midway, but we keep talking. Why? Because we don't overthink it. If you're constantly trying to form a perfect sentence before you speak, you're putting yourself under pressure that even native speakers don't feel. Now let's talk about a second reason: translation. Have you ever found yourself thinking in your native language first and then trying to translate it into English, word by word? That might feel logical, but it actually slows you down. Your brain is doing double the work. First thinking, then translating, then worrying if it sounds right. By the time you're ready to say the sentence, the moment has passed. It's frustrating, isn't it? This kind of hesitation becomes a habit, and habits shape fluency. Another challenge many learners face is lack of confidence. Maybe you feel your accent isn't native enough, or you think your vocabulary is too basic. So you stay quiet, waiting for the day when you'll feel ready. But here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come before you speak. It comes because you speak. Let me say that again. You don't wait until you're confident to speak English. You become confident by speaking English. That shift in mindset changes everything. So far, we've looked at the three big causes of overthinking. Fear of mistakes, translating instead of thinking in English, low confidence from waiting too long to speak. And here's the most important part. All of these can be overcome. Now let's move to the solution: why speaking without overthinking is essential for fluency. Think about how children learn to talk. They don't sit down and study grammar rules. They don't memorize vocabulary lists. They just talk. They listen. They repeat. And they talk again, even if they say funny or incorrect things. And over time, their language becomes fluent. That's not magic. That's repetition and freedom. As adults, we often try to control the process too much. We think too hard. We correct ourselves mid-sentence. We hold back because we're afraid of sounding silly. But if you want to speak fluently, you need to let go of that perfectionism. Here's what I always say. Speak first. Fix later. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to sound unsure. The goal is not to speak perfectly, it's to speak consistently. Now, let's talk about how your brain learns fluency. When you speak freely and frequently, your brain starts to create neural pathways that make English more automatic. It's just like building muscle memory. Every time you speak without pausing to correct yourself, you train your brain to work faster. You begin to respond in real time. That's what fluency really is. It's not about speaking like a dictionary. It's about being able to communicate smoothly, without stopping. And here's something encouraging. Most native speakers don't notice small grammar errors. What they notice is confidence, tone, and clarity. If you can express your ideas clearly, even with small mistakes, people will listen to you. They will understand you. And most importantly, you will feel more confident. So remember, don't aim for perfect grammar. Aim for real communication. Let me tell you something that helped one of my students. Her name is Lena, and she was terrified of speaking English in meetings. She had strong ideas but kept quiet because she was afraid her grammar would be judged. We worked on one simple goal: say your idea even if it's messy. Within 2 weeks, she spoke up in a team meeting. She didn't say it perfectly, but her colleagues listened. They responded. And afterward, her manager said, "Thanks for your input. That was helpful." That small win gave her confidence, and from that point on, she stopped overthinking. That's the power of just talking. Now that we understand the problem and the mindset behind fluency, in the next part, I'll give you practical, step-by-step tips that will help you stop overthinking and start speaking more naturally. So take a breath. Let go of that need to be perfect. You're here, you're learning, and that's what matters. I'll see you in part 2. Welcome back to English in Ease. I'm still here with you, Emily. And now that we've talked about why overthinking stops you from speaking English fluently, let's move into the next stage of your transformation: practical strategies. Because here's the truth: you can train your brain to stop overthinking and start speaking. It's not just a mindset shift, it's a daily practice. And I'm going to walk you through it, step by step. Let's begin with the first tip. Think in English. This may sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful changes you can make. If you're always translating from your native language, your brain has to pause, process, and reorganize everything before you speak. It's exhausting and slow. But when you learn to think in English, you eliminate that extra step. Start small. When you wake up, describe what you're doing in English. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. I'm checking my phone. These aren't complex sentences, but they help your brain start using English in real time. Next tip: speak without focusing on grammar. Yes, grammar matters, but not during a conversation. In the middle of speaking, your priority should be communication, not perfection. Think of grammar like seasoning in cooking. It adds flavor and precision, but the dish still tastes good even if it's not perfectly seasoned. So don't pause your speech just to fix a grammar point. Keep going. Speak first, fix later. Let me give you an example. Instead of worrying whether to say, "I have been learning English for 5 years," or "I am learning English since 5 years," just say one of them confidently. If the meaning is clear, the listener will understand. And next time, you'll remember the correction more naturally because you used it in context. Another strategy: practice speaking with yourself. I know it might sound a little strange, but it works. You don't need a partner to practice English. You just need your voice and your thoughts. Look around your room and describe what you see. For example, there is a blue chair in the corner. It looks comfortable. I think I'll sit on it later. Or stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. How was my day? What did I learn today? What do I want to do tomorrow? Speaking aloud, even to yourself, builds confidence. It's not about the audience, It's about the habit. Now here's one of my favorite techniques: shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and immediately repeat what they say, mimicking their pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. This is one of the fastest ways to improve your speaking fluency and reduce your thinking time. It trains your brain to speak without translating and helps you internalize the natural flow of English. And the best part? You can do this with anything. A podcast like this one, a YouTube video, a TV show, or movie. Just play a sentence, pause, repeat out loud, then do it again and again. It may feel awkward at first, but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. You're not just learning words, you're learning delivery. Tip 5. Use simple sentences. Many learners freeze because they're trying to build long, complex sentences in their head. But fluency doesn't mean complexity. It means flow. Instead of trying to say, "I would like to initiate a discussion regarding our mutual responsibilities," just say, "Let's talk about what we need to do." Short, clear, natural. Simple sentences are easier to say, and they give your listener more clarity. Don't worry about sounding too basic. Simplicity builds fluency. Next tip: embrace mistakes. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Mistakes are not the enemy. Silence is. If you make a mistake while speaking, great. That means you're using the language. Every time you try, your brain is learning. Every awkward pause, every misused word, it all counts as progress. So please, stop waiting to be perfect. That's not how language works. You didn't learn your first language by being perfect. You learned it by trying again and again until it felt natural. Here's another key practice: immerse yourself in English. If you want to stop overthinking and start speaking, you need to surround yourself with the language. Listen to English every day. It doesn't have to be serious. Music, movies, audiobooks, even short videos on social media. The more you hear English, the more you absorb its rhythm, structure, and vocabulary. You're not memorizing, you're internalizing. And now, my personal favorite strategy: set a speaking challenge. Challenge yourself to speak English for 5 minutes every day. No stopping, no editing, just speak. You can talk about your day, your plans, your favorite food, or anything that comes to mind. The topic doesn't matter. The consistency does. If 5 minutes is too much, start with 1. Then grow from there. Use a timer. Record yourself. And most importantly, don't stop to correct anything while speaking. Let me share an example. One of my students, Raphael, was afraid to speak in meetings at work. So I gave him a challenge. Every morning, record a 2-minute voice note in English. No corrections, just talk. After a week, his speed increased. After 2 weeks, he stopped pausing. After 1 month, he gave a short English presentation with confidence. It wasn't magic, it was repetition. Now, let's do a quick recap of these powerful techniques. Think in English. Make English part of your daily thoughts. Speak without grammar pressure. Focus on ideas, not rules. Practice with yourself. Speak out loud to build confidence. Use shadowing. Mimic native speech to sound more natural. Keep it simple. Use short, clear sentences. Embrace mistakes. Mistakes are signs of growth. Immerse yourself. Listen to English daily to internalize patterns. Set a speaking challenge. Speak every day without stopping. And now, I want to challenge you. Yes, you listening right now. Let's do a spontaneous speaking challenge together. I'll give you a topic. Your goal is to speak about it for 30 seconds. No long pauses, no rewriting in your head. Just speak. If you don't know a word, explain it another way. If you get stuck, keep going. The goal is fluency, not perfection. Here are your 3 topics. Describe your daily routine. Talk about your favorite food. Describe a place you want to visit. Pick one. Set a timer. And speak for 30 seconds without stopping. Ready? Take a deep breath. And go. Great job. Even if it felt uncomfortable, that's okay. You've just trained your brain to respond in real time, and if you do this every day, your fluency will grow faster than you imagine. In the next and final part, we'll talk about something even deeper: your mindset. Because behind every confident speaker is a strong, fearless attitude toward learning. Stay with me. We're not just building English skills, we're building the courage to speak freely. Welcome back to English in Ease. I'm Emily, and in this final part of our episode, we're going to talk about something that may be even more important than grammar, vocabulary, or even daily speaking practice. We're going to talk about mindset. Because here's the truth. You can know all the techniques. You can practice shadowing, speak to yourself, even think in English every day. But if your mindset isn't strong, confident, and forgiving, you'll keep hesitating, you'll keep doubting yourself, and you'll keep holding back. So today, I want to help you shift that inner voice, the one that says, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll speak when I feel ready." Let's replace that voice with something stronger, something kinder, something that will carry you forward no matter what. Let's begin with this truth. Confidence comes from action, not from waiting. So many learners tell me, "Emily, I'll speak English when I feel more confident." But the problem is, confidence doesn't show up before you speak. It shows up because you speak. You can't wait to feel ready. You have to speak first. Even if your voice shakes, even if your grammar isn't perfect, even if you're not sure anyone understands. Every word you speak is a brick in the foundation of your fluency. So if you want to become confident, speak today, not someday. Today. Now let's talk about another big mindset shift. Let go of perfection. I know that's hard. You want to sound professional, intelligent, clear. You want your sentences to be beautiful and error-free. But here's what I want you to hear. Perfection is not the goal. Communication is. If someone understands you, that's a win. Even if you made 10 grammar mistakes in your sentence. When we aim for perfection, we create fear. And fear shuts down our ability to speak freely. But when we aim for connection, for understanding, that's where real fluency begins. So from now on, I want you to focus on being understood, not being flawless. Now here's another important truth. Mistakes are proof that you're learning. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a baby learning to walk? They fall all the time. But no one says, "You're terrible at walking." Number? We cheer for them. We clap. We say, "Try again." Why? Because we know that every fall is part of learning. It's the same with English. Every time you say the wrong word, forget a verb tense, or mispronounce something, you're doing something brave. You're learning out loud. So from now on, I want you to celebrate your mistakes. Write them down. Laugh at them. Learn from them. But never let them stop you. Here's a fourth mindset shift that many learners need. Stop comparing yourself to others. You might know someone who speaks English more fluently than you. Maybe your classmate, your coworker, or even someone online. And you might think, "I'll never be like them." But here's the thing. You're not them. You're you. And your journey is not supposed to look like anyone else's. The only person you should compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. Ask yourself, can I say something today that I couldn't say last week? Do I feel more comfortable today than I did a month ago? If the answer is yes, you are growing. That's what matters. Progress is personal, and slow progress is still progress. And here's one last mindset shift, the one that ties everything together. Embrace discomfort. Let me be honest. Speaking a new language is uncomfortable at first. You will feel awkward. You will feel uncertain. You will feel exposed. But you know what else lives in that discomfort? Growth. If you avoid discomfort, you stay stuck. But if you lean into it, if you choose to speak even when it's hard, you'll become fluent faster than you ever imagined. Let me say this directly to you. You are capable. You are strong enough to make mistakes and keep going. You are smart enough to learn this language. The only thing left is to believe it. Let's quickly review the 5 mindset shifts we talked about. Confidence comes from speaking, not waiting. Let go of perfection. Focus on connection. Mistakes are learning in action. Compare yourself only to your past self. Step into discomfort, because growth lives there. Now, before we wrap up this episode, I want to give you one last word of encouragement. Learning English isn't just about memorizing words or passing a test. It's about finding your voice. It's about being able to express your thoughts, your feelings, and your story in a new language. That's not easy, but it is possible. And every time you show up to listen to this podcast, every time you repeat a phrase, every time you speak, even when it's uncomfortable, you are getting closer. Closer to fluency, closer to confidence, closer to being the English speaker you want to be. So don't give up. Don't wait. Speak now. Speak often. Speak bravely. And know this: you're not alone. I'm right here with you, cheering for you every step of the way. If today's episode helped you, please remember to subscribe to English in Ease and share this podcast with someone who needs encouragement too. And if you haven't tried the speaking challenge we gave in part 2, go back and do it. It's simple, powerful, and life-changing. Until next time, keep speaking, keep learning, and keep believing in yourself. This is Emily, and I'll see you in the next episode of English in Ease. Bye for now.